All right, guys, welcome into Above Ground World News Live. Welcome back. We are live. And the stream's already sucking. How could I just figure that? We should be late enough into the night. This thing should not be having any problems. Oh, man. All right, we'll give it a second to catch up. We got tons of crazy stuff to get into, just like every night. The stories never end. We keep finding new things. The meteorologists keep making new things up to try to cover their ass. But hopefully we can get into this, and hopefully this thing will work. Right now we're currently looking at the watches and warnings, and the next rads are some military radars down here in Southern California doing some crazy stuff. And we're just looking at all the tornado warnings popping off in the red. Mega thunderstorms. You have winter storm warnings over in California. We got all kinds of crazy weather warfare going on. We call it warfare because it is. And we're going to prove it. Just like every night, we're going to prove what's really going on. And anyway, here we go. Let's report here. Let's take a look at some of the headlines coming out of the mainstream. California may get 2 months worth of rain from series of atmospheric rivers. Now, we talk about the atmospheric rivers all the time because we know some of the companies that are steering these atmospheric rivers. That's right. They actually steer the atmospheric rivers, and we're going to prove that also tonight. Another article here. California will get snow and possibly 2 months worth of rain from back-to-back atmospheric rivers. Man, these guys are such liar. The state's expected to get 150 to 200% of its normal rainfall. Now, it's getting so bad out here, they're having to come up with new terms. Just like they come up with the new clouds. All these links will be in the description. Oh man, I think I closed the wrong link, but here we go. Storm drops 13 inches of snow on Mammoth Mountain. More forecasts this weekend, and we're expected severe weather tomorrow. And we're going to be looking at that. Look at that, the drought's gone. And it just happened to happen right after the fires. So right now, they have these a new category system. Now, I reported on this a while back, but I figure I'd come check it out again. You know, you got from 0 up to a Cat 5, primarily hazardous in the red. Now, I have all, if you guys want to get into the PDFs on all this to see how they categorize the strength and the impacts of these atmospheric rivers. So if you guys want to do some deep research, here it is. All right, now here we go. Here's the actual website that puts the categories on these things. So like I said, all these links are in the description. Right now we're in a Cat 5, primarily hazardous impacts there in the West Coast. Look at this map right here, man. Look at that picture. Like I said, I'm going to show you some of the companies that are doing this. Now, I know the companies that are doing it over in the Middle East. I know the companies that are doing it down in Australia. The same company I know did these kind of programs in Texas in 2012, but I don't know who the company is today. That's where we need tons of people looking into this, trying to help us figure out who in the heck is doing this in America. Well, we got our hunches, but we got to have the proof. They hide all this information from us. Now, we know they can steer this with electromagnetic energy. The ground-based radars is what they primarily use. And through pretty deep research on some of the known programs that has gone on, what they do is they target the high pressure systems, and then they split a little chunk off and turn it into a low pressure system. And then they guide that rain or snow. I mean, they could do it all. They can make it drought. They can flood a place out. Now, we're looking at the atmospheric river right now here over the United States. And normally this atmospheric river, I've been documenting this for 5 years. This thing gets pulled right up into the Aleutian Island chain, right up into Alaska, just like a wave of water. I should have went out to the full view, which we might later. And this one usually just curls up and around. But this thing's going up and all the way up into the Arctic. Now, normally that's not possible. We can go back in the archives and not see this. Now, you can see this pattern right here back in 2012 when the company Wxr was pulling the atmospheric river up over Texas. And, you know, through later broadcasts on this guy, when he went back to get his equipment, he was using a military radar site to steer this atmospheric river. He forgot some stuff, and when he went back the next couple days, there was holes in the walls. There was you know, places where they had tons of microphones and stuff. They had everything tapped to steal that technology. And then they told the guy to build a bunker. So anyway, we're going to get into more of that here in just a little bit. Here, let me play a clip here. Most of you guys have seen this. We're only going to just listen to just a minute of it, but this is for the new people that come in. Here's one of the companies that steers the atmospheric rivers.
We're not using chemicals fired through rockets like other technologies use. We use a very gentle but powerful technology, launching electromagnetics into the atmosphere to modify the flow of the weather system over the ocean and drawing it into a target. So to try and keep it simple, we establish some kind of link with a weather system, and once we've seen through satellite meteorology that we have that link, we're able to draw that system in incrementally towards the target, such as in this case the Horn of Africa.
Mahendra, you call this project the Global Rain Project. Why the Global Rain Project?
Well, let me just step back. Ever since the beginning of civilization, mankind has diverted rivers on Earth to wherever we wanted to practice agriculture.
That's right. Ever since the beginning of time, man has diverted rivers. So what they are doing, they are diverting the rivers of the sky, and that's what we're looking at here. We're looking at the rivers of the sky. Now, I have other companies that are actually doing tests right now in Iran, over the Sea of Iran. Now, what's going on out there is they were supposed to take off their cloud ionizers. They use a antenna array to steer the atmospheric river over in the Middle East. And now what they did is they were supposed to shut it down on the 20th, but they bumped it up. So they shut it down on the 13th. They got this other company coming in, calling the global trading, whatever it is. It's in the description. I'm not going to bring that one up today, but we're definitely going to be watching them here. Oh, probably starting tomorrow. We're going to be documenting the cloud formations, because we know what the clouds look like when they're hitting them with the electromagnetics. We've documented several cases where we know 100% they were using this technology, and it's all documented. We have all the scientific proof to prove all this stuff. So anytime that we're getting these mega storms and they're coming up with new terms, that's just a code to say, hey, we're messing with the atmospheric river now. That we got to come up with these categories of how we affected these atmospheric rivers. Anyway, let's jump into a few other articles, and then we'll take a look at the map, because we got mega severe weather coming in tomorrow. All right, check this out. Earth's atmosphere is mysteriously losing oxygen. Bad news for oxygen breathers. Our planet has been losing atmospheric oxygen for at least 1 million years. It sounds worse than it is. Earth's atmosphere is steadily losing oxygen. But before you panic and grasp for breath, understand that oxygen levels have only dropped by 0.7% over the last 800,000 years. So you don't have to worry about widespread asphyxiation just yet. Still, it's an alarming find that the scientists aren't quite sure how to explain. They never can. They're all liars too, man. They're all madmen, mad scientists. But we'll get into some deeper things and theories on this here later. What was this? I think this was just a clip on what's going on. Right here, we'll just play it.
65 million Americans could face some of the worst.
That's right, 65 million Americans.
Weather of the season over the weekend. CBS News contributing meteorologist Jeff Burdett.
They just love using these numbers, man. They're all over the numbers. Here we go.
Ellie is here to talk about it because it's going to be nice here on the East Coast.
Very nice
right?
on the East Coast, yeah.
But not the same elsewhere. So what kind of severe weather are we looking at?
They failed to mention that the East Coast here, about a week, maybe 15 days, you guys are going to have the most extreme heat. Nobody's talking about this yet. But I'm telling you right now, there's going to be a mega heat outbreak over on the East Coast. We're going to get into that Sunday night. Let's go ahead and listen to this.
We have a wicked Pacific jet stream. I mean, that is a really, really intense, almost winter-like jet stream. And there are two separate systems here. There's one that's over the Rockies right now. That's going to be causing a lot of severe weather today in parts of the Plain States tomorrow. That'll move into the Midwest. And then the one behind it is very strong as well. That's the Monday, Tuesday one, and that one's even stronger. Monday could really be a doozy of a severe weather outbreak. So you can see on the board there, today the threat is Nebraska, South Dakota. Tomorrow the bullseye moves into eastern Texas, Oklahoma, and Arkansas. Early next week, it's Texas, Oklahoma, and Kansas again as the second round moves in, and that one looks like the strongest with potentially some very large tornadoes.
I saw snow.
These are planned tornadoes. These are planned weather events. But don't worry, we have FEMA camps everywhere. We have over 800 prison camps in the United States, all fully operational, and ready to receive prisoners. They are all even staffed and surrounded by full-time guards. Anyway, I'll leave this article here. You got all the executive orders because they're preparing for civil unrest, civil war. And here's some other environmental news. The Guardian is changing the language it uses about the environment. See, when you're not getting the message, the programming that they're telling you, they're going to keep trying different things. So right now, they're going to start using terms such as climate crisis. They're going to start using terms global heating. Now, this is going to be taking effect. Now you're going to start seeing your local meteorologist start talking like this, like a declaration of a climate emergency. And not one of these, none of these people are talking about the climate control, man. We prove it every freaking night that there's people out here affecting the weather. Why all these smarty pants out here think they know what's best for us? We have millions of gallons of sewage spilling into the Niagara River. Heavy rains push more than 19 million gallons of raw and partially treated sewage and stormwater into the Niagara River at the Rainbow Bridge last week. The flows bypassed the Niagara Falls wastewater treatment plant. The plant's age is to blame for the wastewater flowing into the river. We're seeing this all over the place where the infrastructure is screwed. When they built these, just like all the nuclear plants, these things were supposed to to last 50 to 75 years. We're way over that on almost all of them. So these people, even though they rob us out of all the money, you know, they're still their mad scientists is getting us nowhere. It's making us go back in time, and it's all still part of the New World Order. And here we are with the Lake Orville live stream. I can't never get this thing to go. I heard it goes at night or during the day, but not at night. And I found another site, or I found the other places where you can check it out. Let's check the levels today. So over here at Mount Shasta, you're at 95% total cap. You're at 111% above average. Let's check the Orville Dam. You're at 96 now, at 115% over the average. Like, it is getting close to the top, and then they just got all this rain, all this snow. The Folsom, it's at 119% above the historical average. It's at 94%. Here's one right here. The Melones, 131% above average. 120% above average. 138% above average. So there's some big time numbers going on these. Let me see if I can click this and get a little more data. So here is our grass. Look at that, man. Just the other day we were down here. We are keep on going up. And the other thing that I always worry about is the earthquakes, just from the pure weight of the snow and the water. Go back and look at history when they built dams. They created, you know, earthquakes up to 4.7 by redirecting this water. Just like them steering the atmospheric rivers, there's going to be consequences in another part of the world. When you affect something, when you're bending and stretching the electromagnetic fields, it's going to affect somewhere else on the planet. Now here is the live video gallery, and they have a little note on here. Due to high usage, the cameras may be experiencing buffering. The Lake Orville SRA webcam may be offline at times due to issues related to the repair of the webcam's network. You know, didn't they just get billions of dollars to fix this damn thing? I heard the let's see if this one's working. It should be above the dam. I heard this one was working. Nope. Oh yeah, maybe it is. Let's just try hitting play, see what happens. Nope, it's down. All right, I'll try checking this in the morning. We'll check all them in the morning. Let's go ahead and get out of that. Let's get out of this. And let's get out of that. Now, I didn't get much time to get all this stuff to load here. Well, you know, here's the thing. If you look at history and you look at the wars, every war they've droughted the country out that they wanted to start the war with. Every one. And what happened is they had a drought. They had the California drought. They had high pressure systems parked over here, so that atmospheric river couldn't get up there. It was going up into Alaska. And what happened? They started the war. They disintegrated Paradise and Chico and all these other places. And then out of magically thin air, the atmospheric river decided to take a turn right into the West Coast and wash away the evidence. And that's exactly what happened. That's the truth. You know, this is all being steered. It's so many companies are doing it. You just had this year, China and Russia are building this giant antenna array along with all the other ones they got, that they're already going to divert the atmospheric river up into the dry lands of China. I should have brought that article up too. So I didn't get this one loaded real good, so I don't know, how well this one's going to load. And we're pretty well, let me document the full screen of this atmospheric river. Now these atmospheric rivers should be swirling like waves of water. Some of them are natural, some of them are being pulled. Down here in Australia, we've seen them pulling these things in straight lines. There was the David Miles Research Company put the fires out down here back in, I think it was January or February, and you could see the atmospheric river being pulled straight down. He put the fires out within, I think it was 15 days, 20 days. He put the fires out. He offers tornado mitigation. He offers drought control. And every one of these companies, except for the one in the Middle East, they want it to flood. See, they're going by their book with the Allah in there, and they vow to turn the desert green again. That's part of their thing. So, and this is going on worldwide, man. It's going on everywhere. It's not just here. And that's why we document these, because we can spot when they're doing it. And it's got to be told. And we're going to keep telling it for as long as we can. So I think we're probably done with that. Let's go ahead and jump back over here. And let's get on over to the radar. Let's go ahead and check out the long range, or the IR here. Let's go ahead and let this one load up and see what's going on as we're looking at the cloud tops. When we look at these maps, and I want to bring up that tropical tidbits too. A lot of times the mainstream media, when they are showing you maps, they may show you something like this, and you're thinking this is rain. This isn't even rain. But they don't tell you, the map looks, extreme, and that's what they want you to think. They want you to be tuned into that weather channel. They don't want you to turn the dial. They want you to think everything is going, oh yeah, and there was a weird thing that happened on this map. If you watch it real close, when it cycles back through the map, it twists a little bit, and then it pops back in place. And I have never ever seen that. I took actually a quick little screen cap of it because it's just so freaky. Let me see if I can see where it does it here. Should be right here around the beginning. See if it does it again. I know I've seen it. Trying to see when it does it. Wow, I'm not seeing it now. I know it did it when we first got in. There it is right there. Okay, check this out. This is crazy. Look at that. Okay, watch these flood warnings. They're going to pop out off the screen. Look at that. See, they're popping out. It's like the whole map got twisted. I don't know if that's something to do with the solar energy, like it twisted the satellite, or if this is just the overlay. But it's pretty freaky. Even the NextRads did it. So let me go ahead and get something loaded. Let's go ahead and go take a look right now at the forecast models. Here we are looking at the GFS. Super low pressure, 994. Wicked storm. They were doing some crazy aerosols today over here at sunset. We were getting home kind of late, but I took a few shots of it with my phone. It'll blow your mind. I'll have it up here for tomorrow night. Didn't have time to get it on here. But yeah, here we are looking at the severe rain. They're calling for 5 inches of rain in a couple hours. That's not normal rainfall amounts. So all these super red colors, heavy rains. We're talking 5 inches in a couple hours. That's going to lead to severe street flooding. You got wind, you got hail, I mean, there's going to be some wind events going on right over here. This can be like blizzard type conditions. Hey, another 994 pressure. You know, when you look into the research of steering these atmospheric rivers, they take and they split the high pressures into these separate low pressures. And it's funny how all these low pressures are hitting right at the same low pressure. Here's one at 989. Look at that. That's almost in the purples. That's almost calling for 24 inches of rain in just 6 hours. And look at that. It's going to go right over. So, man, we're headed for one hell of a storm between now and Tuesday, going into Wednesday now. So we're only getting a 96-hour forecast. So they have it updated all the way to the 16 days. So this is just the next 96 hours. Let's go ahead and check the rainfall amounts. And I'm telling you, man, there's going to be a heat event over here on the East Coast coming up. I was looking at some long-range models, and I'm just like, are you serious? If that happens, it's going to be like, you're going to go instantly from spring into the dead of summer. I'm talking, you know, July, August type temperatures. And it could be for an extended amount of time. Then we're going to start watching for the hurricanes. All right, so here we are. We're going to look at the next 96 hours of precipitation and try to figure out, you know, what we're looking at here. So yeah, this is going to get really bad. So just here in the next 96 hours, we're in the, you know, getting up into the lighter. This is showing 9-10 inches of rain, getting close to 12 inches of rain. That's insane, man. We'll see if there's going to be any snow with this. Look at all the snow. This is all the snow in the higher elevations. So it's actually updating as we're here. This is 102 hours of the snow. You got some of the darker greens there, you know, around 18 to 20 inches in the California mountains. Whoops, that's not what I wanted to click. Get back over here. Now I want to check the winds here. We're going to check a few things tonight since we got these wicked storms coming in tomorrow. So I'm just kind of watching this. I'm just kind of documenting this. I just want to look at a few things here. So right here, we're looking at the 850 HPAs. This is about 4,000 foot up in the sky. So yeah, we got, look at these heavy winds that'll be coming in. Still not quite what I'm looking for. Okay, yeah, here's a air temperature map. Yeah, see, I could model this out to 384 hours once this thing gets fully updated. Wow, look at that flash of heat down here, 90s. We got 108. Just wait. Just watch here at about 10, 15 days at the heat that's going to overrun the East Coast. All right, yeah, I'm just kind of looking at that. Yeah, I'm trying to look for this certain map. I can always have a hard time finding it. All right, let me try to, can't remember which one I used for that. So we'll just kind of scroll through it together. Hope everybody's doing good out there. Friday night, we made it to another Friday night. Sometimes I'm amazed when we can make it to the next week. So I'm trying to find something here. Okay, let me see what this vortice is showing us. All right. Okay, here's what I was looking for. This is the lower level winds. Welcome everybody. All right, let's check out these winds, man. I'm sure this is going to be some crazy stuff that we're going to be looking at right now. So let's just click this up. Oh, we're back a ways here. Let me get up into now. All right, so now we're kind of into now. Here we are right now. This is the wind fields right here in the sea level pressures. Look at the wind that's going to spark up tomorrow. This is tomorrow. So this is going to lead to some wicked tornadoes, monster hell. Like we could get some mega hell. Look, here's the wind on Sunday. Way up in the red. You know, we're talking 50, 60, you know, getting up there pretty damn high in the wind fields. So this could be kind of like a cyclone on the ground, going across the midsection. And look here. Now this is going to be the worst day of all. This is going to be Tuesday, May 21st. We're in the purples, ladies and gentlemen. We're in the 80-mile-an-hour sustained winds and wind gusts. This is going to be a land hurricane with rain bombs. Now, I did a video a couple years back on how rain bombs actually form and how they're created. So, yeah, man, we're going to have some major problems here over the next couple days. It's going to be a wave after wave after wave. We're going to have more levees breaking. So yeah, now we're starting to get up into 114 hours. So this map is actually trying to upload as we speak here. All right, we're probably done with that. And if I can, man, I'll jump on here tomorrow. If it gets pretty nasty, I'll try to jump on here to give the heads up. Hey, thanks out there, Terry Moore. Much love, everybody out there in the super chat and everybody that sends stuff to the PO. I got some today, and I forgot to bring up the letter so I could thank you guys, but thanks, much love out there. You know who you are. Somebody wrote me a nice letter that was talking about the Paradise Fires. I just got to glance at it, but I can't wait to get that home and read it. So much love out there. You know who you are. Thanks everybody there that does the PayPal donations, because it helps, man. Like, I wouldn't be able to do this. We ran out of bandwidth like 4 days ago. So, you know, and every time I buy that stuff, it's like $129. It lasts about 10 to 12 days. So you guys are definitely help keeping this operation going. Let me click play here. Watch this thing do that freak out where it's like the whole map twist. I'm just going to kind of let this run through, and then we're going to kind of look and check out some stuff here. All right, let me go ahead and take them watches and mornings off just so we can see a little better. Take them off, and we could look at the couple of the other things on here. We could look at the severe. Let's look at the 3-day severe probabilities. Oh, that's in 3 days. Hold on, let me get this where we could try the 2 days. So there's where they're going to be calling for the tornadoes: Texas, Alabama, southern Missouri. And let's try the 1 days. Hey, thanks there, Heaven Bound. Much love out there. So here we are in the next 1 day. So we got them, you know, pretty much in a straight line. And let's go ahead and look at these. We get that off there. Get that one off here. Here's for Saturday. And let's take a look at Mondays. Yeah, so it's going to be over there in the Ohio Valley. Let's take a look at the 1 day hail probabilities. So right here, we know that they've had 7-inch hail and 8-inch hail in this vicinity. I reported on it last night. I showed where you can find that information out on the insurance claims. The biggest hail in the world has happened in Nebraska and South Dakota, and it wouldn't surprise me a bit if you guys get the almost soccer ball size hail from some of these systems. They're showing only about, that was check the wind. We only get the 1 day wind, so there's the wind. What else can we check on this thing? We could check the rainfall rate. See if that'll load up for us. So there's our rainfall rate. That's not a very good one. What's the total precipitable water look like out here? Hey, thanks there, walking trail. Yeah, this is the Above Ground World News family. Thanks everybody out there joining us here live on YouTube. This thing's running live over on Twitch. It's running live over on D Live. It's running live over on my personal Facebook account. So we are trying everything we can to get this information out so that people can find out what's really going on with the weather. The weather is crazy, and it's not climate change. It's not anything the mainstream is telling you. It's climate control. They have their hands on the thermostat. They have their hands on the weather. All perfectly provable in a court of law. Like, we're ready to take these babies down. We just got to find the United States company. Here we are looking at the lightning. These storms are so much more enlightening, and the reason why is from the aerosols. It's from the aerosols coming out of the doped up jet fuels, from the aerosols coming out of the planes. It's from the aerosols coming out of the weather modification ships, the cargo ships. Hey, thanks there, Matthew out there, Bamboo. So, yeah, man, it's pretty crazy that a guy with a computer that's, I've had to battle cancer. I'm trying to build my house. I'm trying to help my neighbor get his crap back in order from the house fire. And I work a full-time job. And I have to jump on here to try to warn the people, because there's not a lot of us out here that are willing to jump in and try to take care of this. So we take time out to try to inform the people before they get rid of us. So here's the energy that these storms are working with. That's a pretty crazy map right there. I've never seen that one. Never used that one. And let's go ahead and check the cloud height. So, yeah, I don't know if that's going to give us anything here. Let's look at the meso analysis. We already looked at the cape. Wonder if this is a different type of cape. Oh, wow, look at this energy that this got to work with. So when this thing pops up on here, this is going to kind of show us where the severe crap is going to bust loose. This is some of the energy it has to work with right here. So it is no problem for this thing to bust out some tornadoes and stuff. Let's try the supercell composites and let this run here. So yeah, look at that up there. That's going to be really wicked. Look right there, we're almost off the charts, guys. This is going to be one bad boy here. So if you're in this path of the storm, you're going to have a mega flood, mega hail, mega tornadoes, mega wind damage. You got to figure out now where you need to go when this stuff kicks in. Because, why have a plan now? Because this is going to get wicked. Like the wind's already wicked all over the place. That's what happens when you're affecting the jet streams, when you're affecting all this stuff, bad things happen. And it's all provable. Let me take that off. We're going to go jump into the Earth null, and we'll check these radars here, man. I just want to go ahead while we're right here. Let's go ahead and enable this. And I just want to see if I can spot any of the big time aerosols being deployed right now. I know they're spraying lightly over KC. Yep, you can see the gray synthetic clouds are spraying out here off in the Atlantic. And I think you got some kind of crazy sprays. Yeah, we'll get into this here in a little bit. Let me pause that, just let that to load. Let me turn off our enhancement here. Yeah, this worldview map is just not loading very good for me tonight. Like, I didn't have enough time to get this thing loaded. But we'll be able to spot all that on the Ghost 17. Let's go ahead and take a look at the Earth null. Yeah, they're spraying right now. The moon, you know, it's pretty full. It'll be completely full tomorrow night. But my wife and I were driving home. It was getting dark. And they're spraying the moon. They were spraying the moon. They're doing nighttime spraying over Truman Lake right now. All right, first thing I wanted to check is the polar vortex winds. Look, it's just got a little bit up here. It's all down here in the southern hemisphere. It does this every year, twice a year. You know, it goes from the north to the south. But you notice this thing isn't all freaked out like it was this year. You know, they're not getting the rapid heating events, the atmospheric compression. The ones we got this year back in December and January, they were manufactured with ionospheric heating. I mean, I proved that too, man. It's undeniable. Let's go ahead and check the jet stream. So they got, you know, some low pressures here. They're driving this jet stream down. So the jet stream is what's going to be powering these tornadoes. You know, when you look at the winds up here, you're like, how is the atmospheric river coming up, going, you know, cross grain of the wind? It's coming up against the winds. And that's because it's being pulled up electromagnetically. Let's check the 500 HPAs. Now this is the scalar field. We call this the scalar field. We call this the vortex level. And this is roughly around 18,000 feet up. You know, the jet stream, it's about 34,000, you know, to 40,000 foot. And you can see even in the vortex level, they have all this wind coming up. That was drop on down around the 850 HPA. That's roughly about 4,000 foot up. And look, we have straight line of winds. So what they've done, they have tapped into the jet stream. They're also using the scalar level with their scalar weapons. And let's go ahead and check the surface. Now I can fast forward this just a couple days. And then look, all of a sudden the winds take a freak out right here. Let's go back that one day, and I'll go up 3 hours at a time. So all these winds are going to be converging. So it's basically going to be like a giant, you know, like cyclonic storm system. We go up 3 hours at a time. You know, and this part right there is at the low pressure. We'll see, we got a lot of low pressure working with that too. I wanted that back on the winds. Take this up a day, and then it's going to be, you know, there over Iowa. Let's get this back on now. I need to check the ocean wave heights. So it looks like we got a little bit of waves coming in here in the west coast. Nothing too big though. Looks like about 20 footers here. We can look. We just click on that. Yeah, about 17 foot waves. So that's no big deal to worry about there. In fact, all the waves are down pretty low. You just got one little set of 40-foot waves down there in the Antarctic. Everything else is looking pretty normal. We'll see how they're doing on creating the El Nino. All this stuff is created. Your weather hasn't been natural for a long time. These are the sea surface temperatures. And then we're going to take a look at the sea surface anomalies. Now, they had to lower the El Nino forecast. You're still got a little bit of heating here off the west coast, but everything is way cooler. So they're pretty much going to have to say there will not be an El Nino. They're calling it a weak El Nino, but it's really not. But that's a bad thing, because that means the hurricane forecast is going to be a lot worse. Now, we know down here in Mexico we got mega fires going on, volcanic activity. But look how bad the air quality is over the East Coast. I mean, this is worse than the fires that are going on. So what's causing this up here? I mean, you're looking up here by Boston, New York, Pennsylvania. And then it goes on out through the valleys there. So something is definitely going on with that. Here we are looking at the carbon dioxide. It actually looks like the color is darkening back up. So that's pretty crazy. So the air quality is actually looking a little bit better today. This would be the first time in a long time. Still don't compare to 2016. Check this out. 2016, this is what it looked like. Much darker, much less carbon in the sky. Go back to now. Still pretty high. We're up, we're way up here. Here we are looking at the sulfur dioxide. Now these big ships, the cruise liner ships, the cargo ships, the ones putting out the bunker fuel, all these straight lines are from the ships. Now if you go, they've actually had some mainstream articles coming out that these luxury cruise ships, they put off in one day the same amount as 1 million cars worth of pollution and sulfur dioxide. So that's why you're seeing these straight lines. And the other crazy thing is, through some research, these storms can follow these lines, and it makes them more electric. They're more electrified. That's because of the particles, the metal particles, the nanobots, the nanoparticles. I still haven't figured out why it's so bad in the Northeast. That's what I'm trying to figure out. And then we've had this spot down here in Florida with the PM 2.5s. I think this is a fracking issue, or maybe some methane or something's coming out down here. We had several earthquakes down in that area when I zoomed in down there, and there was some fracking going on there. So I don't know if it has something to do with that. Don't know if there's a fire going on. Like you can see down here where all the fires are, man, it's lit up heavy in this PM 2.5, but look how heavy it is down here in the middle of nowhere. We're up here at 1,014. Let me get it on the parts. Oh, wow, I can't change that. M3. So I'm not sure how to read that part there. All I know is it's bad. If you look at particulate 2.5 matter on Wikipedia, it's a carcinogen. It's cancer causing. It's lung infection causing. It's really, really bad for you. It's like the dust, Saharan dust, like you're being sandblasted with little glass particles. All All right, so the auroras are down. All right, I wanted to let me check this one more time. I forgot to look at to dig into the radars a little bit better. So I wanted to just see if there's some mega spraying operation here that we could have zoomed in on. It's hard to tell because they've already created all the clouds. Like I know they're spraying right there. I guess we could just zoom in on that, just see what we pick up. I don't know if that one will get it. We'll try. Yeah, there's all kinds of crap dripping out of the skies. You know, they're trying to call it pollen. Sometimes they'll call it pollen, and it's not. They call it everything but what it is. I mean, that stuff needs to be tested. Yeah, so you see all the crisscross patterns. So they're spraying out ahead of these storms firing. Look, they're spraying right into the storms. Let me back that up. So where all the severe weather is, look, you got military planes right here dropping the heavy aerosols. We're dropping the military grade chemtrails right there. And you watch right where they drop them, man. They get pulled up this way for the wind, and I mean, them are super high supercells, and you notice every single one of them is rain bombs. You know, they're not your normal rain, they're rain bombs. Now, I should have left the radars up so I could check them. I guess we can just go back to it real quick. Yeah, I'm getting pretty damn tired. I'm not used to staying up this late. So we won't go much longer. Let me just click play here. See what we find. And you notice, look, when they turn these next rads down, let me stop that. Here's a perfect example. So the next rad's on a low buzz, it's just at an even kill. But they want this storm to kind of head south. So they turn the radar down. Look, the closer the rain gets, they turn it down. Look, they got them all turned down the way they want the rain to go. And look, they actually almost turned that one completely off. So if you follow that rain, they turn the radars down, and then after the rain goes by, they turn it up. That when they turn them up on the backside, it pushes the storm a little bit faster. And there's that glitch right here. Wow, that just freaks your eyes out, man. That's a weird glitch. I've never had that glitch before, ever. You got some crazy stuff going on right there. Them are the chemtrails. It's actually picking up the chemtrails right here. So yeah, every single one of these, they turn the radar down the way they want it to go. You can sit here and follow this and watch these for hours. And they're all working together. They're all doing their thing, and they're part of the weather plan. We get a little bit bigger. So really it's not showing a whole lot of rain or moisture hitting California right now, but they're going to be dropping that down. That's such a weird anomaly. Look at that thing just pop up and do like a freak out. It's like the map stays stationary, but everything else freaks out. Man, they had that one really cranked up high. Anyway, guys, I think I'm going to have to call this a show, man. I am spent right now. I can't go much longer. I will try to pop on tomorrow if I see some crazy stuff. I'll try to get on here and get some warnings out of it if I can. We're supposed to get storms here too, so if I got bad storms tomorrow night, I won't be able to stream due that I'm on the satellite. But what I will do is I'll try to do a pre-recorded, or I'll try to record it and then upload it, or we'll just do one really late like we had to do tonight. So anyway, guys, much love out there. Thanks everybody that helps us out. Much love to everybody that shares this information. I mean, that's the key. The censorship is off the charts. And I mean, this channel wouldn't even grow without you guys. I mean, you guys are the ones that are helping this family grow. And that's what we need to do. We need millions of people woke up to this. Not just thousands. We need millions. Anyway, guys, much love. I'll try to get caught up on all the emails and all that crazy stuff. But we will catch you tomorrow, God willing. And I may pop off like a little live stream over on the D-Live and the Twitch, where I don't get censored. I was going to talk about some news that they don't like me talking about on here. But be looking for that if we do it. Anyway, guys, let's rise, man. We got to rise. We're running out of time. Crank it up. Then we'll play the fighting song. Then we're out. Much love, guys. Be safe out there. No fear. And don't forget, eyes to the skies. They say to look up.